first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Bashir Tootin. He's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
19 tight. Left thing, 19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now they'll audible to something else. Throw left side complete. That's Douglas.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is...
Yeah, he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
10 cycles. Yellow, 43. Black ultra.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's wheeled in downfield by Johnston. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Right.
And the Texans, first down.
Ready.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Double 38.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because They have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Sam showed a nice tackle on that one. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This defense for the Vikings, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here we go, set. Cut.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Come on, set, white, blue, 32. Cluster, 6.
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Ultra, go ultra.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Smash, red. Ready?
Back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. And he'll be just shy of the 20 of the 19 as he goes out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds Douglas complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And this will be a Vikings first down as they get this up to about the 42.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this well past
across midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row. First down.
At the 24-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. That's complete. He's got Tootin. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tootin, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns.
The kick is good.
Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Yellow, 22. Field, flag.
Back to throw here. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
But it's 4th down.
Ball red. Black shot. Set.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Spinning away. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
At the 47-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Black, 95. Yellow. Set. Black.
They'll look to throw here. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
10 black. Green.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. He'll look to throw. Middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And the Texans first down. A gain of 15.
Back to throw now on first down.
First down.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Second and 10.
Ready?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone. It's a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
52 blue. Hut.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
Ready?
They'll drop to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down. And what will be a big play there on 4th and long.
First down. A gain of 13 yards. First down.
They'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Trey McBride, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Texans 7.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. They'd love to just strike out with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. And now they'll shift things around.
Hut.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
60 vikes, 60 vikes. Dragon 60. Mustang 19 tight, 19 tight.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe some explanations.
Just when you want a first down run, call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
52 blaster. Set, hut. Ready?
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the Texans are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line.
1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
They'll try to run for it on 1st and goal. And running really hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Touchdown, Texans! Trey McBride with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point attempt here still to come. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14.
Ties the game at 14.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. 2nd down in the yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 44-yard line.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 49-yard line.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
60 vikes. 60, 19 tight, 19 tight.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Nike 18, Warrior 70, Panther 11, Cup 19, Cup 70 Rangers, Mustang, Dragon 60.
Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. They should tooting in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. This is taken in by McBride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point, and now he's getting the ball to start the second half. How about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
2nd and 6. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he's going to be out around the 45-yard line.
It's a
gain there of 21 yards.
And the Texans, first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. That's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. 3rd down and 6.
Just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return, the Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try to pick themselves back up.
And that's too tall for his receiver. It's incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Tight end. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Now they'll change things around before the snap. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Back to throw. He finds Douglas complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Only able to gain a couple there. And it'll be 4th down. Back to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back to the 23-yard line. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
At the Texans' 23-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They get this out left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
It's a gain of 2. And the Vikings first down. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Come 19, come 19. 18, run, 18, run.
He'll drop to throw. And it's caught. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Hey, smash. Cougar 19, 18, Pioneer.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, ready.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Panther 6, Cardinal 18. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Off the option, that's complete. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hey, one, two,
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown. From a yard out. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Ready up.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Ready.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Quentin Johnston, 52 yards. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for 2.
The Texans will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cuts to 14.
36, Texans 22.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Check. 19. Panther 11. Dragon 60. Check go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
18 Cardinal. Go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going for a right side here, complete. Here's a 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up
Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
At the 19-yard line.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
18, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Buffalo 18, 79 Bronco.
They'll look to throw again. Yeah, he's got it. And the Vikings are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Here we go. 19 Tiger.
Turton is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Back to throw here. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
60 Bobcat.
They'll drop the throw. He'll try and do this himself. That's complete. He's got Turton. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal.
Cougar 19. Wriggle, Warrior 70.
He'll look to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
The Vikings will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. off by Leo Chanel.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
But he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
32. Ready?
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down and 6.
Second and 6.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DK Metcalf, 39 yards. And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit.
His kick is good.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13.
Texans 29.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. That one looks like he'll throw here. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
At the 19-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter. He'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
Keep the score. Vikings 48. Texans 29.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. This is 2nd and 8.
Here we go, set.
They'll set up to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Black ultra. Come on, set, ready.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Red, 38. Cut.
They'll look to throw here. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
These guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Ready. Sticky, green. Green jack. Ready.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for the Vikings, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
chill. Right on my side is my ego becomes a funky child with some words on my tongue. Be like in, take a breath, and my mouth gets loose. So while I scatter my spit, I dream of juice. Have you reveled out dark hallways? This way, I guess I made your day. I say, play the track from your record collection. It's your mix, congratulations.
Changed a lot of names, some. Know that we have always been down. If I ever didn't thank you, then just let me do it now. Come back in.
I bet you right up when we start the show, but I mean now, very close because I told you so. You know, we love because we love to race. Yeah, we be freaky and we wanna stay.
Changed a lot of names, some. Know that we have always been down. If I ever didn't thank you, then just let me do it now.
Lock, strike, go weaving in that violent force of life. Guaranteed to turn it out better goal of mine. Because we don't get change like a chameleon. And the channel, whenever the rap show, the world is on. You know we dazzle, I get all our human battles. Rattles out your head, will redeem. I call the bottles, fall in love with your teachers on the right for yourself, mate. Check, test, with free of evidence, LA.
Changed a lot of names, some. Know that we have always been down. If I ever didn't thank you, then just let me do it now. Keep my feet on the ground, keep my head in the clouds, electrified by the sound that comes from the down. And we changed a lot of names, some. Know that we have always been down. If I ever didn't thank you, then just let me do it now.
I had a dream, I had a vision, I had to work for. I learned to swim from all your burnt bridges. Say you're the poet and the prophet, but you never saw me coming. Always starving for attention, and I got the kind you wanted, and it's killing you now. You wanna spin it around, but the truth's still the truth. Nothing you can do. I feel it in my bones. Won't bring me down, no, not even close. Go ahead and throw your stones, but you can't stop this. You can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. I had a dream, and now I live it. Ain't it a gift to know it's God-given? I'm not gonna waste it. Stop wasting your breath. Stop speaking in whispers. Say that with your chest. I feel it in my bones. Won't bring me down, no, not even close. Go ahead and throw your stones, but you can't stop this. You can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. Whoa, you won't break me, I won't back down. I just can't shake this feeling like I'm up so high. I got no doubt this life ain't got no ceiling like. You won't break me, I won't back down. I just can't shake this feeling like I'm up so high. I got no doubt this life ain't got no ceiling like. Yeah,
When I step up in the place, say yo, I step correct. Got you all in check. I got that head nod that make you your neck. I got you all in check, and you know we come through to wreck the discotheque. I got you all in check. Throw your hands up in the air, don't ever disrespect. I got you all in check. Bust the rhymes up in the place, true indeed. Yes, I got the record, that's word on my feed. I'm guaranteed to give you what you need. One blood, everybody like Junior Reed. Wake up every morning, yo, I must succeed. Nationwide rockers make the world stampede. Yo, Willie, make we roll some mad charge. Now I must proceed. Yo, we about to make